Picture this. Thousands of years ago, finding a partner was quite literally a matter of survival, and your options were limited to just a few familiar faces sitting around a fire. But today, a single swipe on your phone reveals hundreds, even thousands, of potential mates. So we have to ask, why is a generation with infinite choices feeling more lonely, more confused, and just more emotionally exhausted than ever before? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden evolutionary science behind human behavior to figure out exactly why the modern search for love feels so incredibly draining.
It's the ultimate modern paradox, right? Why does dating feel practically impossible when we've literally never had more options? Listen, if you're feeling totally overwhelmed by the endless scroll, you are absolutely not alone. And here's the secret. This isn't a technology problem. It's actually your ancient brain desperately struggling to survive in a digital world it was just never designed for. Dating apps are quietly hijacking your most primal instincts, and we're going to uncover exactly how that happens.
So, let's start with Section 1, the dating world your brain actually evolved for. For nearly all of human history, the magic number was 150. You see, you didn't choose a partner from a massive pool of anonymous faces. Instead, you lived in these tight-knit tribes of no more than 50 to 150 people. You knew everyone. You evaluated a potential partner not by looking at some static, heavily curated profile picture, but through a lifetime of shared reality and deep community trust.
The contrast here is just staggering. Ancient dating was deeply rooted in slow trust. Choosing a mate wasn't about finding absolute aesthetic perfection. It was about finding a reliable partner to share food with, raise children, and survive brutal winters. But fast forward to today, modern dating forces your brain to make split-second, life-altering judgments based on hidden algorithms and an endless sea of strangers. The reality is, your mind was built for face-to-face connection, not infinite scrolling.
Which brings us to Section 2, swiping and the dopamine trap.
So why exactly is it so hard to swiping? Well, the answer comes down to dopamine. It's a deeply ingrained chemical in your brain that gets released during moments of uncertain reward. Thousands of years ago, dopamine was crucial. It kept our ancestors motivated to forage, to explore, and ultimately to survive. It was basically an evolutionary reward for discovery. But today, that exact same survival chemical fires every single time you get an unexpected match, a ping, or see a glowing notification on your screen.
Your primal brain is absolutely addicted to these uncertain rewards. Every single swipe whispers this tempting possibility that the next person might just be better or more attractive or more interesting. But here is the harsh reality. A lot of the time, you're not actually looking for love. You're just feeding an ancient evolutionary loop that has been perfectly hijacked by modern technology.
Let's move on to Section 3, why rejection hurts deeply.
Have you ever been left on read and felt this surprisingly sharp sting of pain? It sounds silly, but to our ancestors, social rejection was a literal death sentence. Being ousted from the tribe meant losing access to fire, to food, and to protection. Now, obviously today, being ghosted by a stranger on an app poses zero physical threat to you. But your ancient brain, it doesn't know the difference. It sounds that exact same survival alarm, processing a digital dismissal as if your very life is in danger.
Next up is Section 4, the paradox of choice. Now, logically, you would think that having millions of potential partners right there in your pocket would make finding the one incredibly easy. But human psychology works in this wildly counterintuitive way known as the paradox of choice. Think about it like walking into a restaurant that only has 3 meals on the menu. Choosing is simple, right? And you enjoy your food. But now imagine a menu with 500 meals. Suddenly, choosing is agonizing. You're left constantly second-guessing, wondering if you made the wrong choice. Modern dating triggers that exact same cognitive overload.
Because your brain fundamentally lacks the hardware to process thousands of romantic possibilities, you get thrown into this chaotic vortex of uncertainty. And the results are completely scientifically predictable. We see heightened comparison, a total inability to commit, and this chronic, nagging anxiety that someone better is always just one swipe away. We are severely overloading a system that was only ever meant to handle a small, familiar dating pool.
But there is a way out. Let's look at Section 5, working with your biology.
The really good news here is that you don't need to fight your biology at all. You just need to understand it. Have you ever noticed how you naturally feel more comfortable around someone the more you see them? Well, psychologists actually call this the mere exposure effect. While dating apps demand instant chemistry from a single static photo, your brain actually requires repeated, low-stakes exposure over time to build deep trust. Real connection, it turns out, is a slow burn. It's not a sudden digital spark.
So to sort of hack your own biology and override these algorithms, you really need to return to our primal roots. First, try prioritizing deep, meaningful conversations over endless swiping. Second, give people the necessary time to actually reveal their true character to you, just like you would if you were getting to know them around an ancient campfire. And finally, you have to stop measuring your own human worth by an app's match rate. Reclaiming those biological fundamentals of trust and consistency is absolutely key to building a lasting partnership.
If there is one single thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. You are not broken. Modern dating isn't exhausting because you're unlovable or because you're failing at it. It's incredibly difficult because you are operating an ancient brain in a completely alien environment. Your mind was built for tight-knit communities and hard-earned trust. It was definitely not built for rapid-fire judgments and endless digital comparison.
Understanding this hidden evolutionary science might not instantly fix your dating life overnight, but it will absolutely help you break free from that algorithmic trap. I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Knowing exactly how your primal brain is wired now, do you think our modern digital environment ultimately makes finding real connection easier or harder? Think about it and start taking back control of your own biology. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the world around you.